Hello, good evening, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, teacher.
Okay.
Fine, thank you.
Thanks.
Excellent. Okay, well guys, today is our last class. Hoy es la última clase. Today is our last class because on Wednesday we are going to have the evaluation, okay? We will probably finish the material on Wednesday, but just like from 6:30 to 7, and then from 7 to 8, we are going to have the exam. So we're gonna have like kind of half class next class. But today is like the last one complete. Okay, so last class we were talking about the topic of warnings. And today we are going to start with the conditionals part 2. And here on screen, we have the 12-2 conditional sentences number 2. For example, it says in here, I want to go on vacation, but I don't have any time. If I have more time, I will go to Hawaii. So the difference between this conditional and the conditionals we saw in last week are that conditionals of last week, we're talking more of probability, things that are possible to happen. Like, for example, if I have time, I will visit you. What does it mean? That if I finish what I'm doing, or that if I have the time to go and visit you, I will do it. So it's a possibility. But the difference with this conditional is that this conditional are just imaginative. Okay, what is the structure of this conditional? In the first class, in the class of if, well, it is going to be if and the past tense of the verb. And on the other class, in the result class, we will have would or could plus the base form of the verb. Okay, the use of it. If something is not possible or it is imaginary, we use if with the past. And in the second class, we use would or could plus the base form of the verb. For example, if you have money, you will buy a Ferrari, for example. If we didn't have money, we wouldn't go on vacation. So what I'm saying, that the result or the meaning of this type of sentence is the opposite. It means that it's not true. Even though if I say it negative, it means that it is the opposite. Or if I say it affirmative, it means that it is the opposite, right? That is not possible. It's just imaginary. Yes, the conditionals where we use the present or will, they are also imaginary. But the difference is that there is a possibility of them coming true. There is a high possibility of those things happening. And in this context, talking about the past tense with would or could, this is not possible. It could be because it is very difficult to happen in the present because of the circumstances, or because it is just something that I'm imagining because it is impossible. These type of sentences using this type of structure are very common to use. For example, if I say, oh, if I were you, I wouldn't do that. That is impossible because I won't be you. I mean, it's impossible for me to be you. So that's why we use this type of sentences or structure for those contexts. Now, we use if plus past, but this grammar does not have a past meaning. What does it mean? That we're not talking about the past tense. We just use it for the structure. Because we use this grammar about the present or the future, we're just talking about a situation, hypothetical situation, because it's not real. For example, if I had a car, I wouldn't need my bicycle. What does it mean? As I told you before, it is the opposite. If I say this, if I had a car, I wouldn't need my bicycle, it means that I don't have a car. So I'm just imagining, it's not real. Next one. I could help you tonight. Remember that the conditional could start with the result clause or it could start with the if clause. So it doesn't matter the order you place them in the sentence. I could help you tonight if I didn't have to work. What does this mean? That I have to work. That's why I'm not going to help you. Next example. If we had children, we will live in a bigger apartment. I'm talking or referring to the present time. What does this mean? It means that they don't have children. But if they had children, they wouldn't be living in the house they live because they will be living in a bigger apartment. What at the end, this is just an imaginary situation because it's not real. Next example. We could go anywhere in the world if we bought a boat. What does it mean? That we don't have a boat. We're just imagining, we're just talking about hypothetical situations. Okay, till this point, is it clear the use of this context or tense and structure?
Yes, that is clear.
Thank you. So it says in here, as we study at 12 in 12.1, we can use if at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. That's what I was telling you. We can start with the if clause or we can start with the could form. Remember, in this context, we're using if with the past tense only. And on the other class, we're going to use will plus present tense or the base form or could. For example, if you were a native English speaker, you wouldn't be in this class. What does it mean? That this person doesn't speak English as a native speaker. You wouldn't be in this class if you were a native English speaker. It has exactly the same meaning, so it doesn't matter if you decide to start with the if clause or you decide to start with the result clause. We also have sentences with where or was, but in this case, we're talking about the conditional. So I want you to notice something. Notice that it says in here, in this grammar, we usually say where as the past form of be. Was is okay, but where is better in English. What does it mean? That if you want to use, for example, I know that the past tense of the verb to be is was or where, depending on the verb to be, right? But in this, talking about the conditionals, talking about the hypothetical situations and the unreal events of using this conditional, which is the second conditional, it is better. It is not wrong, but it's definitely better and more fluent and sounds more natural if you use where for every single subject. So here we're making an exception. For every single subject, we are going to use where. It doesn't matter if it is she or if it is I. Here we're going to use where. If I were you, if you were here, etc.
In all cases,
yes, but we're talking about the conditional, okay? Just in this context, talking about the conditional. When we're talking in past tense, just in past tense, we have to like use was for he, she, or it, and I, and where for you, we, they. But in this case, talking about the conditional, we are only, it's better to use where.
So in this case, where is not a verb?
Where, yes, but I'm saying that where is good for every single subject. We don't have to use was.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, let me do some. Okay, let's read these examples. It says, if we were birds, we could fly anywhere for free. Remember that where is the verb to be, and it's talking in the past, right? And it's talking about things that we could said or start, but in past. If I were or was, because remember, it's not that it's wrong, it's just that it's more common to use where. And we want to sound the more natural, right? So it's better to use where. If I were you, I wouldn't buy that shirt. Yeah, but you're not me, so I'm gonna buy it. It's like you're just imagining. My mother wouldn't like this if she were here. But what does it mean at the end? That she isn't there in the present, so nothing happens at the end. If plus past or present. Here we're gonna see the differences between using the present tense or the past tense with if. Remember, we use if plus past tense with would or could because something is imaginary or impossible. If something is possible, do not use this grammar. So whenever you're gonna use this type of conditionals, make sure that that it is related to what you're trying to say. If you use the present tense with the if clause, it means that you're talking about something that is possible to happen, something real that could happen in the future. And if you're using the past tense, it means that you're just imagining because it is not possible, at least not in the present or in the short future. And it is just a matter of imagination. I mean, it's not nothing related to real life. For example, Mason is at a cafe, but there is no Wi-Fi. He can't check his email. He says, if there were Wi-Fi in this cafe, I would check my email. What is he using the past tense? Because there is no Wi-Fi in the restaurant or where he is, so it's impossible. So that is why it is just part of his imagination. Next example. David is at a cafe. He's not sure if the cafe has Wi-Fi. So he says, if there is Wi-Fi in this cafe, I will check my email. So what is he saying here? That he will probably figure out. He will ask if there's Wi-Fi here just to know. And if there is, so then it is possible for him to check his email. Is it clear the difference between the past tense with if and the present tense with if?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Next, examples 2. Jose, can you help me to read the first example, please?
Sorry. James wants to buy a new computer, but he doesn't have enough money. He said, if I had enough money, I would buy a new computer.
Exactly. So it says in here, he doesn't have enough money. So he's just thinking about this situation. I mean, he's not saying that will happen. He's just saying that, okay, if I had enough money, but it means that he doesn't. And in here we have another example. Guillermo, can you read the example of Susan, please?
Okay. Susan wants to buy a new computer. She may have enough money in the future. She said, if I have enough money, I will buy a new computer.
So in this case, I am sorry. So in this case, she's saying that she wants to. And she's saying that probably in a week or the next pay day she has or something, she will buy it. So she's saying, for example, if I have enough money, if after paying my debts, etc., my bills, I have enough money, I will buy a new computer. So she's saying that it's possible that she will do it if she has the money. In this one is possible, in this one is not. He's saying that he doesn't have money, and she's saying that in the future she will have it. Do you see the difference?
In the second example, is possible, no?
Exactly. That is a difference with using the present and using the past. With the present, it's something that is possible, probably not in the present, but in the future. And with the past tense, it's not possible in the present and probably not possible in the future. It's just thinking about it. Okay. So is it clear about this tense? Do you remember the differences between using the present tense with the if clause or using the past tense with the if clause? Okay, remember the second clause, which is the result clause, if it is with the past tense, you are going to use would or could. And if it is with the present tense, you are going to use will. Okay?
Future.
Future. So we're gonna practice to see if this topic is clear. It's been shared with you, so please open the exercise. Is a 12.2 conditional sentences number 2.
12.2.
Let me know when you are there.
Exercise. I am there.
Guillermo Alondra, are you there already?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes, I'm ready to.
Excellent. Okay, let's see the instructions of the first part of the exercise. It says, complete the sentences with the correct form of the verse in parentheses. Use the past, would, or could. So this one is just with the second conditional with the one of past tense. So that is the only, you don't have to worry about if you're gonna use present or past. All of these sentences in the first part of the exercise are in past tense. So basically the only thing you have to do is to change the verbs you have in parentheses, change them to the past tense. Or if you already have, for example, here, in the first one, we had to change it into the past tense. I don't have a lot of money. If I have more money, I will buy a big house. But in this one, let's see here, in the letter B, it says the bed is so hard, it's not very comfortable. It more comfortable if it were softer. I already have the sentence with if. It means that here I'm going to use would or could. So that's what you have to notice, okay? Notice if you already have the if clause or you have the result clause, and whatever sentence you have to complete has to be, if it is with the if, has to be in past, or if it is with the result clause, it has to be with will or could. Okay. So it's still the letter F. It's not a long exercise, this first one. Please work with it and let me know when you are ready so we can check and share your answers.
Okay.
Ready, guys? Are you ready or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, remember to tell me when you're done.
Mhm. I finish.
Me too.
Excellent, Guillermo, are you done?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's go with the number 2, well, letter A, sorry. Alondra, can you read it complete, please, with your answer?
Yes. Quitting smoking is very difficult. He will fight if it were easier.
Huh? If it were easier. Letter B, Guillermo, please. Letter B, Guillermo.
Okay. The bed is hard. The bed is hard, so it's not very comfortable. It would be more comfortable if they were softer.
It will. Excellent. Okay, letter C, Jose.
See, I don't know the man, so I can introduce him to you. If I know him, I could introduce him to you.
If I what, sorry, can you repeat?
If I know, no, in past,
In past is new.
new.
If I knew him,
Oh,
I
if
could
knew him.
introduce him to you. Okay,
Okay, thanks.
you're welcome. Alondra, letter D, please.
Letter D. I don't really like bowling. I could go with you if I like it more.
Very good. I could or I will, up to you. Okay, Guillermo, letter E, please.
My English friend lives in Canada. If he would here with me, he could help me learn English.
If he, you can't use will with the if plus. You use the past tense with the if plus. So
The live,
lived. If he lived here with me, he could help me learn English. Yes?
Is that better in past?
Is in past tense.
Mhm.
Jose, letter F.
Letter F. Let me see. F. Today it is very windy. The ocean is very raw. It will be smooth if it weren't so windy.
Excellent. Okay, so how was the first part of the exercise? Did you get all correct? Did you get one mistake or did you get all mistakes? How did it go?
mistakes.
I have one mistake.
One
I have
mistake?
correct.
All correct, very good, Guillermo.
I had two mistakes.
Two mistakes. Okay, so
I have a
remember.
question.
Yes, go
Excuse
ahead.
me, teacher. I have a question in the letter F. By vocabulary, what what means, what smooth means?
Okay, so we're talking about the ocean, right? It says in here that the
Yeah.
ocean is very rough. So this is the what does it mean? That it is like very aggressive, right? So we're just imagining if we will, it will be smooth. So it's like calm if it weren't so windy, but it is windy. So that's why it's roof. If no wind, it will be smooth, like calm. Okay.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. Oh, by the way, I was going to tell you, when we're talking about imaginary situations, remember that if is with the past tense. And in that episode class is would or could with the base form of the verb. I cannot say, or I cannot use would or could with if. Okay, next, part 2. It says in here, put the verbs into the correct tense. Using the conditionals, using if plus past with would and could. So we're gonna do exactly the same as before, but in this case, we're gonna rewrite the whole sentence and changing both. I mean, the will part and the if clause with the past tense. For example, if I, and then I have here the verb to be, and then I also have here the verb to be. Remember when we're using an infinitive verb, it's be, not am, is, or are, okay? It's just be. For example, then, if I were the medalist, we have to change be as was or where in this case, when it is used as the main verb. Okay, if I were the medalist, I will be so happy. Let's do letter A together. The first verb is go, and it's joining if, so it means that that is a verb that I have to change into past tense. And then I have catch, and then that it means that the verb catch is the one that goes with would or could. Okay, so how would it be this sentence then? If I what? Went, If I went out with damn hair, I what?
I will catch a call.
Yeah, I will catch a call. Very good. Okay, is it clear what you are going to use? Sorry.
It's clear.
Or less.
Excellent. Okay, please work with this one. This one is a little longer. So, but don't worry, take your time and let me know when you are ready to share, okay? Any question or whatever, I'll be here.
Until to letter K?
Yes,
K?
please.
Okay. I need more time, please.
Okay. Guillermo, Alondra, how much time do you need? 5 minutes is okay?
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay,
5 minutes is
5
okay.
minutes.
Thanks.
Ready? Could you finish, guys? No?
1 minute back.
Okay. 2
Yes,
more
I
minutes.
am.
You're ready? Alondra, you ready?
Yes, I'm finished.
Okay, 1 more minute for Guillermo to finish.
He's a little confused.
Finish, teacher.
Okay, we're gonna check it. I think that it could be like remembering the structure, but it's not that hard. I mean, once you get it, you start like it becomes easier. But well, let's go and practice. Letter B. Jose, please.
Letter B. If he weren't a guitarist, he could be a drummer.
Ah, very good. Excellent. Alondra, letter C.
If I have enough money, I could buy a big house.
Very good. If I had enough money, I could buy a big house. Good.
But there is another form that it could be correct.
With will?
For example, I put in this exercise, if I have enough money, I will buy a big house.
Yes, but it is a difference. Remember, I told you that when we're using the past tense, we're just imagining and it's not going to happen because it's unreal. I don't have the money. And with will, you're saying that it is possible that you will have enough money. The structure is correct. If you say, if I have enough money, I will buy a big house. It is correctly structured, but that is other type of conditional. Those are possible. It is possible to happen. And here we're practicing with the second conditional, which is the one of the past tense and could or will, because we're just imagining these events or situations are not real and are impossible. Yes?
Understood.
Excellent. Okay, letter D. Guillermo, please.
Okay. If it weren't always sushi, I would wear t-shirt more often.
Very good. I will wear.
I have a question. With
Yes.
the wool, is that possible? The wool?
It's not that it's possible. It's just you're just saying. It's like with the will you're showing what could be possible, but it isn't, right? And with cool, it's basically the same. Es como lo mismo. It's like with will, you're showing like a possibility, but it's a fake possibility because it's not real, right? And with cool, you're more like showing the result or the effect. Do you get me? Yes. Cool is like podría, right? And would is just showing like a possibility.
Okay.
Okay, letter E. Jose, please.
What is the past of win? What is the past? One? Can you spell?
W-O-N.
The past. Okay. If we won the lottery, we could travel around the world.
Okay, letter F, Alondra.
If you had a better job, we could be able to buy a new car.
If you had a better job, we could be able to buy a new car. Very good. Jose, letter G. No, it's Guillermo's turn, sorry. Guillermo, letter G.
Can I see the last example? Please. If you had a better job, we could be able to buy a new car. Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. Letter G, Guillermo, please.
If I spoken perfect English, I would be in this class.
Yes. I will be class. Okay, Jose, letter H, please.
if it snow in this city, we will be very surprised.
We will be very surprised. Very good. Alondra, letter I, please.
If she passed the exam, she can enter university.
Very good. Letter J, Guillermo, please.
She would be happier if you stopped washing your money,
Very good. Wasting your money.
wasting your money.
Good job.
Can I see the letter I, please?
Yes.
If she passes the exam, she could enter the university. She could enter. She could.
Good?
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Jose, help me with letter K, please, with the last one.
We could buy a house if we decide to stay here.
Very good. We could buy a house if we decided to stay here. Okay, better? How did you feel doing this exercise?
Tired.
Tired. Okay.
In my case.
But could you see the differences or understand the differences between using past and present?
Yeah.
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 Okay. So let's go to the third part, and the third part says, correct the mistake in each sentence. Make sure to use the second conditional in each sentence. So it means that we're gonna use the second conditional, and the second conditional is the one that is with the past tense and would or could in present. For example, here we have it, here it has a mistake, right? What do we have to do? We are going to identify the mistakes in each clause. Remember that I have an if clause and a result clause. So the if clause has to be with the past tense, and the result clause has to be with would or could and the base form of the verb. So the mistake in the first sentence, it says, if my house has solar power, we will save more money. We will save money, sorry. So in this case, that mistake is in the first clause, in the if clause, because I'm using it in present and it has to be in past. So it will be then, if my house had solar power, we will save money. So you have to identify the mistake and correct it, okay? Let's see the second example. It says, I will probably quit my job if I won the lottery. What is the mistake? This will, because I cannot use will with the past tense clause. So I'm going to use, I would probably quit my job if I won the lottery. Let's go to the letter A, and it says, if she is more talented, she could win the championship. What is the mistake in this sentence?
Is.
So what would it, how would it be?
Was.
How does it have to be? Okay, it could be was, but remember I told you it's better to use
Where?
Or
if she were more talented, she could win the championship. Okay, is it clear what you have to do here?
Yes.
Okay, please work with this exercise till letter H and tell me when you are ready to check and share your answers, please. Ready?
No, not yet.
Sorry. Okay, let me know, please.
Mhm. I finished.
Okay, Alondra, Guillermo, did you finish?
Me too.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, let's go with the letter B. Tell me, Guillermo, what is a mistake you identified here?
Um, I think I will to able to understand me if I spoke my native language.
You wouldn't be able to understand me if I spoke, right? Like this. Very good. Alondra, letter C. What is a mistake?
El will.
El will, exactly. So how would it be there?
If she came to my country, she could be able to understand my country's culture more.
Okay, if she came to my country, she would be able to understand my country's culture more. Very good. Jose, letter D, please. It says, if I didn't listen to upbeat music in the morning, I won't be able to wake up. What is a mistake?
I think the mistake is won't.
Exactly. So how would it be? How does it have to be in order to be correct?
If I didn't listen to upbeat music in the morning, I wouldn't be able to wake up.
Excellent. Music in the morning. I wouldn't be able to wake up. Excellent. Okay, Guillermo, letter E, please. They will be banned from competition if they took rocks. What is a mistake?
The will
Wheel. So how would it be? How would it be then to be correct?
they would be banned from competition if they took trunks.
Very good. Okay. Alondra, letter F, please. If we won't improve our English, we wouldn't achieve our goals. What is a mistake?
El want.
So how does it have to be in order to be correct?
If we weren't.
If we weren't, not weren't, because improve is an action verb. So
If we improve.
It's correct if it weren't improved.
No, it's not weren't.
No.
No. Guillermo, what do you have in this one?
If we improve it,
Didn't improve. If we didn't improve.
We didn't. Mm.
Remember, the verb to be is used to talk about set or start, right? And didn't is used to talk in negative, in past tense with the action verbs. And improve is an action verb. Okay, Jose, letter G, it says, this city were boring if it didn't have festivals. So what is a mistake?
Didn't.
No,
No.
because didn't have is a past tense. It didn't is helping have to be in past and negative.
Then maybe the mistake is where.
Where is a mistake? So read the sentence again and tell me, how do you have to change it in order to be correct?
This city, this city didn't boring.
No, because with the result clause, I need to use would or could.
Oh.
You have to use the same verb, but you have to modify it with would and could. So it's would plus this verb in its base form or could plus this verb on the base form.
This city could be boring.
Could be boring. Could be or will be boring.
Could,
I think it fits more would. Will be boring if it didn't have festivals. Yes? Okay. Letter H. Guillermo, please. The apartment will be messy if I wouldn't clean it all the time. What is a mistake?
I think it's wool.
Would or
Yeah.
read it again. The apartment will be messy if I wouldn't clean it all the time.
Was it wooden?
Wouldn't is a mistake. So how do you have to modify it?
The apartment will be messy if I clean it all the time.
But it doesn't make sense if you say if I clean it all the time, because it says the apartment will be messy, which means that a disaster. The apartment will be messy if I clean it all the time. I think that you have to modify something else.
Didn't
clean it.
Didn't.
If I didn't clean it all the time. Better?
Okay.
Okay. Now it says in here, exercise 4. Questions about the previous exercise?
No.
No? Okay. So it says in here, change the sentences to the second conditional, keeping a similar meaning. For example, it says in here, this is the real thing. It says, I don't have enough money so I can go with you. This is a real situation. So if I have to use the second conditional, which is the if with the past tense and would and could plus the infinitive, keeping the same meaning but using the second conditional, then I have to change that. I will have to say the opposite using the second conditional, right? For example, if it says in here, I don't have enough money, so then I'm going to say, if I had enough money, and then it says in here, I can go with you. So then here it's negative, I will say a positive. I will go with you. If I had enough money, I will go with you. This is impossible, so it means the same as this one. Next example, it says, she doesn't have a black belt, so she can join our division of karate. So here the first part says she doesn't have a black belt. So I will have, if she had a black belt, she could join our division of karate. So instead of can't, I'm going to use the affirmative or the positive version in the past tense of can. She could join our division of karate. Okay, I'm going to practice letter A with you. It says in here, they won't like that golf course because it's so busy. I'm going to start with the first part. If here is negative, I'm going to start it affirmative. So I'm going to start with if, my subject is they. If they what?
Like that.
If they liked that golf course, very good. If they liked that golf course, they what? It says in here, because it's so busy. So if they like the golf course, they
they could be came.
okay, I got it. We have to start with the result clause.
Uh-huh.
So how can we start? They,
If
no, if the golf course, we're gonna start with talking about the golf course. We have to identify what are we talking about first. If the
they-
golf course, what's going on with the golf course? If the golf course what?
doesn't like.
It's so busy that we're talking about the golf course, not about there. So if the golf course what? How is the golf course?
didn't be so busy.
What tense is used here? What is this? This is a verb to be. So you're doing good, Alondra, but you have to use, if the golf course weren't what?
weren't so busy.
Weren't so busy. What's going on if it weren't so busy?
They
what?
They will like.
They would like it.
No,
They will like it. Okay. If the golf course weren't so busy, they will like it. Let's try again with letter B. It says, I don't know because I'm not you. So I'm going to start saying, I'm not you. This is the first part. So how can I say that using the if? Remember to change it affirmative. If I what?
If I weren't you.
If I were you, I have to change it to affirmative. If I were you, I what? Now it's with this one. If I were you, change it to affirmative.
I know you.
I would know, because you have to use would or could.
Oh.
I will know. One more. It says in here, letter C, she's pregnant, so that shirt will not hurt her. I'm going to say here, I'm going to start with this. That shirt will not hurt her. So if, or that shirt, what's going on with the shirt? That shirt what? Here is negative, so I'm going to start with an affirmative or positive tense. So that shirt what?
Will fit her.
Will fit her. If what?
If she didn't pregnant.
Didn't? What are we using here? We're using the verb to be.
She wasn't.
She weren't pregnant.
Wasn't.
Okay, I know that it is a little confusing, but tell me, do you understand what you have to do? And do you know how to change it? It's because I want you to try it by your own, but I don't want you to leave you alone. So that's why I'm asking you if it is clear what you have to do. Is it clear?
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you a chance to try it. Don't worry if you don't get it or if you make a mistake. If you have to ask me, feel free to ask me if you are stuck in a sentence. But please try it by your own, okay? I want you to try it. If you have a question, I repeat or something, ask me. But if you consider everything is good, excellent, let me know when you finish, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Ready?
No, teacher.
Okay, tell me please when you're done.
Mhm. That's okay.
Finished? Okay, Guillermo, Alondra, did you finish?
No.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Guillermo, how much time do you need or how many
I,
sentences?
I, I, I have confused with some several
Okay, what if
several
we, some of them? Okay, what if we
several
start?
jet.
What if we start
Okay.
and you can like compare and check
Yes.
the ones you have problems with? Okay, perfect.
Yes, no problem.
Letter D.
Yes.
Alondra, what it says in here, she's always close, so she always wears a coat. Remember, okay, before we start, remember this sentence is affirmative, so you have to use like in you have to say the opposite with the negative structure. So Alondra, what do you have here?
I put if she were always cool, she will always wears a coat.
But you're saying the opposite in here because it says that she is always cold. So it would be if she weren't always cold, you have to say the opposite. If she weren't always cold, she what?
Wouldn't.
She wouldn't wear, or she wouldn't always wear a coat. She wouldn't always wear a coat. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Letter E. Jose, it says in here, I don't like that music because I don't listen to punk. So I have to change it using the if plus in an affirmative structure, okay? So how would it be then?
If I listen to punk, I would like that music.
Backwards. If I liked punk, I will listen to that music.
Mm,
If you like it, you will listen to it. Yes? But at the end, if you listen to it, it's because maybe you like it, so it's good. If I liked punk, how did you say it? Can you repeat it so I can write it, please?
if I like that music, I listen it.
I will listen to it. Very good.
I like that music.
You could change that music for punk. If I like punk, I will listen to it, or I will listen to that music. Letter C, Guillermo, do you have it?
No.
Okay, but let's do it together. It says in here, you shouldn't do that. I'm warning the other person. You shouldn't do that. So then what am I saying? That if I what?
If I do that,
If I wear you, I what? You what? I what? Sorry.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do that. If I were you, I wouldn't do that. This is basically the same as saying don't do that, or you shouldn't do that.
let me,
Okay.
if
I wouldn't do that.
If I were you, I wouldn't do that. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome, Alondra. It says, I don't need a helmet because I don't ride my bike very fast. So remember to use the opposite structure. It means that here you will have to make it affirmative. So
if you were ride your bike very fast, you will need a helmet.
if you rode your bike very fast, you will need a helmet. In this case, you're talking about him, right? This sentence could be also, if I rode my bike very fast, I will need a helmet. But in this case, Alondra, consider him. If you don't ride, so it's good. Okay. Jose, letter H, please. It says, I can't get money because the bank is closed. Here you have it negative and this affirmative, so you have to make it the opposite. So
if the bank were open, I will get money.
Excellent. If the bank were open, I will, or I could. This one is better with could. I could get money.
It's similar, wool and cool, no? Isn't it?
It's similar, yeah, but it's more like could is of ability. And in this case, you're saying that you're not able to because it's closed. So that's why it's better to use could.
Okay. Good.
Okay, letter I. Guillermo, do you have it? Letter I?
No.
It says, I'm not hot because I'm in the shade. Do you have it?
No.
Okay, so here it says, I'm not hot because I am in the shade. We're gonna start with this. Here I have it affirmative. I am in the shade. But what happens if it were the opposite? If I what?
If I weren't in the shade,
If I weren't in the shade, what happens, Guillermo? If I were in the shade, what? How would it be? How would I be? Jose?
I could be hot.
I will be hot.
Well,
I will be hot. Yeah. For you to not confuse between could and would, let's talk about could. It's of ability, of doing the things, ability. And would is more of states, es más de estados, right? I am hot, not hot, I will be hot, I will be happy, I will be silly, that will be great, etc. Don't worry, it's a matter of practice. You'll get it. Okay, Alondra, letter J says, I don't want a roommate because my apartment is too small. So?
if my apartment weren't too small, I could want a roommate.
Excellent. If my apartment wouldn't, or weren't, right? Weren't too small, can you repeat?
I could want a roommate.
I will want. Or it could be, I could have a roommate, or I will want a roommate.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we're almost done and we have a little time, so let's do this quick. Letter K, Guillermo, do you have it? It says the country is rich because it has a lot of natural resources.
I don't have this.
You don't have this? Okay, Jose, do you?
Yes.
Tell me, please.
If the country had not a lot of natural resource, it were poor.
Didn't have
Didn't have
a lot of natural resources. What happens?
it were poor.
It wouldn't, it would be poor. It would be poor. Exactly. It would be poor, or it wouldn't be rich. Both are good. Very good. Okay, Guillermo, do you have letter L? You should buy that shirt. It's the same as the other one. Do you remember? You are suggesting the person to buy it because you liked it. You are suggesting the person to buy it because you liked it. So it means that what? You're saying, oh, you should buy that shirt. That means that if I what, I will what?
I don't know. I'm confused.
Okay, just pay attention and let's see if someone else has it. Alondra or Jose, do you have this one?
Yes, I am.
I do.
Yes, I do. If I were you, I could buy that shirt.
If I were you, I would buy that shirt.
Wool again.
Again. You should buy that shirt. If I were you, I would buy that shirt. I will buy it.
I would buy it.
Alondra, the last one. It says, he is here because he wants to learn English. So?
If he didn't want to learn English, he wouldn't be here.
Excellent. If he didn't want to learn English, he wouldn't be here. Okay, Guillermo, how do you feel after this exercise? What is the part that confuses the most?
The word that didn't, the past.
The past, okay, remember that the if is the one that goes with the past tense. And the other one, that the one without the if, is the one that goes with would or could, depending on the context of the sentence, right? I don't have more time, guys, to continue explaining because I have another class. But on Wednesday, before we do the exam, as I told you, we are going to have like a 30 minutes class, so we can like refresh and practice a little bit more with this topic. Okay.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good night. See you then.
Teacher,
Bye.
thank you.
Bye.
But